Alright, so you're going to work on those. I'll give you another 20 minutes for you to look around. There are actually interactive software on the internet that you can use. But I prefer if you try to do some work using the information you have about sum of angles and the configuration at the vertex to look at the tessellations.
But at the edges, not the entire figure is on between. Is still considered a tessellation?
Yes. NCTM has an interactive software that is available to you online that you could actually try using instead of drawing. Excuse me? Yes. Can you unplug the audio, please? That's the top one, yes. Thanks. What's going on with the pentagon? You're saying it can't? Why not? What if I were to rotate
Side.
it?
With the side.
But they won't be able to fit when you're no matter how you trick it.
You're saying move this one around here?
And
Alright, so, alright, Crescentian and Adrian, are you hearing the discussion on this side?
Yes.
Okay. So, there are assumptions about which ones can. You said the 3, the 4, and the 5, meaning,
No, the 3, the 4, and the 6 definitely just
which means the triangle, the square, and the pentagon. Is that what you mean?
the hexagon.
Hexagon, sorry. 3, 4, and 6.
And
Why?
the dodecagon.
5 as well.
Yes, and you said 5 as well? So I'm saying why? Why do you think these will tessellate?
I'm sure. Let me check. I'm just read the instructions.
Okay.
Right, so the triangle, the square, the hexagon, the octagon, the pentagon series.
Why? So tell me which ones you're saying. The triangle, the
Square,
the square,
the hexagon,
hexagon.
the octagon, the decagon, and the dodecagon.
Why? That's the thing. It is important that
Why?
we're
Because
saying these tessellates, we think these will tessellate. We're sure about which ones. Which ones are you sure about? Which ones are you not so sure about?
Alright. I'm not so sure about the 5, the 7, 9, and 11.
Right, but from those that you have told me that would tessellate,
Yes, ma'am.
which ones are you sure, you're certain that they will tessellate?
Only the first 3.
Only the triangle, the square, and by triangle we mean the equilateral triangle,
Yes, miss.
square, the hexagon.
Yeah, only those 3 I'm sure about just now.
Okay. Let's look at a vertex, for example. Let's look at the hexagon, right there. Can you see the vertex, Adrian and Crescentiana?
Yes.
If you look at the vertex, can we describe or talk about those angles coming together at that point to form the vertex? Look at the configuration of the vertex. Then putting down a few more so we can see whether it continues. And by the way, the hexagon, what does it look like? Anything in nature? Reminds you of anything in nature?
Snowflake.
Snowflakes, stop signs. How many sides does stop sign have? 8 or 6?
Turtle shell.
A turtle shell.
But it's oh yeah.
Is a turtle shell a plane? Like, is it flat? Talk to me. Is the turtle shell flat?
No.
So maybe we can tessellate something that is curved like a turtle shell?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else in nature? I'm trying to remember what the beehive looks like. A honeycomb?
this shape.
You're not sure if it's 5, but it somewhat looks like it.
It would definitely.
The hexagon reminds me of the beehive. Anybody knows where to find a beehive? Why you laughing, Adrian?
I wouldn't want to show you, miss.
Why not? Take a picture, that's all we need. As a matter of fact, you can pull it up on the internet and look to see what the beehive looks like. But here's the question though. Let us look at the vertex, right? There.
Vertex.
That's fine. What's happening at the vertex? What's the arrangement? First of all, can I say all of them seem to be arranged in the same way? Alright? So it's just a repetition of the same kind of look right across the plane. And so, yes, you were saying the vertex. What about the vertex? It fits.
Oh, sorry. I was saying that at the vertex,
Yes.
if you should like put your finger at the vertex
Okay.
and I can just show you.
Sure.
I'm not sure. I want to say it properly.
That's fine. We're here to discuss and I don't want to be talking about it right through.
Alright. So I was saying that if you should put your finger here at the vertex and you should measure from here to here, from here to here, or from here to here, it seems as if you would get the same angle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's reason about that.
I don't know.
Can anybody convince him that the angles are the same size?
Yes, miss. 120 degrees.
Okay, how would you know?
Sure.
Some of the interior angles of a regular polygon.
Okay, how do you know it's 120?
The sum of the interior angles would be 720 degrees.
So when you look at the hexagon, the sum of angles is 720. But the fact that all of these are regular would mean that all the angles that we're seeing are equal. And so you're now saying at one vertex or at any vertex, the three angles are measuring 120. And is there a relationship between that and some of the information that we know about angles meeting up at a point or something?
Yes.
Does that open a new door for you, Adrian?
Yes. And notice that all of them will be divisible.
Okay. Could you explain? I understand what you mean, but could you explain? Say what
From
you...
the polygons, from the triangle going down to the hexagon, each interior angle, the measure of each interior angle is divisible.
Right.
Well, I should say they will go into 360 without leaving a remainder. And 360 degrees angles form at a point.
And so...
If you go beyond that,
What
then
about
it's
the
not divisible.
pentagon? What about the pentagon?
The
Does it
pentagon,
Does it fit that?
the pentagon, no, wouldn't work.
Okay. Rule that out, so you have to change your arguments a bit.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Alright, so below 360 we are saying, or up to 360 for the triangle and the square, you were saying something, but I think you have to modify just a bit what you're saying about being divisible by 360. Because 180, is it divisible by 360? Is it?
No.
180 is a factor. So we have to be careful how we use that as well. But I get the understanding that you're saying now, 180 can go into 360. Now, so each angle, when you look at each angle, so the measure of each interior angle, in this case 120, in the case of the square 90 degrees, in this case of the equilateral triangle 60 degrees. 360 is divisible by all of these. Alright, let's see if we can figure out another one that will work. Is there another? You following us, Crescentiano? Crescentiano?
Yeah,
Are you following us?
yeah.
Okay. Now we describe the vertex configuration using the number of sides that the polygon possesses. So for example, in this case, each vertex here, we call it 6, 6, 6, meaning that the three polygons meeting there have 6 sides. Okay? Just for argument's sake, if we had, say, 2 triangles, that's equilateral triangles, and 2 hexagons, let's see if that will work. See if we can erase. And let's get a triangle. Let's put it somewhere. Are you seeing that?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna have to rotate this. That looks like it. Fine. So if you look at that corner, are these two tessellating together? Are you seeing that? So I'm mixing these two. Let's pick up vertex and see what's there in terms of how we describe. So we have the hexagon here, which would be 6. Can somebody help me out, please? We're trying to use the number of sides to describe the vertex, the arrangement of the vertex. So let's pick up vertex, which is here. You can see a circle highlighted. That's the vertex. How would you describe that vertex? The hexagon has how many sides?
6.
How many sides for the triangle? And then the next triangle. So you just move around in a clockwise manner. And so at that vertex you have 6, 3, 3, 6. So 6 sides on this, 3 sides on this, 3 sides on this, and 6 sides on that. You see that? No more? Have a challenge with that one?
Yeah.
You have a challenge with that?
So you just say 6 euro, 6 euro, 3.
Yeah, the idea is that we talk about the vertex configuration by just looking at the number of sides. So the arrangement, yeah. So if I could put one figure here that's 6, 3, 3, 6. And so I could reproduce that at some other point. Now, if you look at this one, you have what? 6, 3, 6, 3. You see that? So this vertex is different from that one. See? So we're changing from initially what we had with just hexagons where everything looked the same. All the vertices looked the same. Where you had 6, 6, 6 because it was 3 hexagons meeting up at a point. Alright? Now you can look nctm.org/forward/activity.aspx and try to manipulate some of these. So Adrian, from the table that you completed earlier, we're seeing that there are how many of these that can tessellate? And this is a question for everyone, not just for Adrian. What? All right. Is it possible? You said the octagons will not tessellate. Go ahead, Donald.
All right. First down. All right.
I don't have a hard and fast rule again, and miss the Pentagon threw that out.
Okay. All right. But what you're thinking though, what drives it? What you said, you did say that if they were factors of 360 eventually, that they could tessellate. And so the ones that we're seeing that are factors are 60 for the equilateral, 90 for the square, and 120 for
The hexagon.
the hexagon, right? Yes, Dama.
It's basically the same thing I was going to say.
Okay.
But I guess it's the same thing. But I was saying that at the vertex, it must be either 180 or 360 when you put the vertices together.
Okay.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Which would work out to about the same.
Which would, because then 180 and 180 give you 360, so I guess.
Right.
But
So
I'm
if
not
it's
sure.
a factor, we're saying if it's a factor of 360, then it would tessellate.
Yeah, miss, the sum of the angles at the vertices.
Now, if just above, you'll see that grades 3 to 5 and 6 to 8 can use this. It would be meaningful to them. But even for explorations at another level, you could also use the tessellation creator or work with tessellations. Alright, I'm not sure how to get, I'm going to try to get a new screen. Oh, ooh. So that's a new screen. Click the icon at the bottom where you just dump everything into the trash. Now we're going to move away from just a regular tessellation, which would include only a single regular polygon, and try to look at the semi-regular. The semi-regular.
Semi-regular is we have two different shapes
or more.
variations.
Right, 2 or more of the regular polygons tessellating with them. So you put them together in such a way that even though by themselves they would not, they can combine with another regular polygon to tessellate.
So that would mean that all the shapes are using
Let's see. Let's see if it's possible that everyone can be combined with some other one to tessellate. Let's look at what did we use to inform what we're doing again? We use it. They can't overlap, right? Right, and how do we determine which vertices or which angles, well, I guess we use the angles to determine how to fit them to get 360, right?
Yes, miss.
Let's see if we can manipulate 2 of those regular polygons to use them to tessellate the plane. I just showed you how you could use the hexagon and the equilateral triangle. Could you try 2 others, please? Alright, so let's try the pentagon and the squares. We're gonna try it. There's no rule that says we're done. Let's try it. Alright, so Donald is suggesting that we try the pentagon and the squares. Now, what kind of formation do you expect? So I'm using the physical manipulation. What kind of formation do you expect at the vertex?
It's not going to work.
Why?
Oh, because the pentagon I have here is not a regular pentagon.
No, but what I'm using here is a regular pentagon.
Yeah, this wasn't regular. See.
How do you get a pentagon in there? Alright, so we try something else. The octagon. Alright, so the octagon is 8 sides. What's the size of the angle? What's the size of the interior, one interior, of each interior angle?
135.
135? Alright, what's the size of the square?
90.
90, alright. Let's say I should know that, right? Now, how do you get 135 and 90 to make 360? Is it possible?
So is it pentagon on the square?
Also, Donald is saying you probably, I don't know.
Oh, you probably need 2 pentagon, two octagon and a square to give you 360.
And why would you say 2 though? I need to know.
Oh, the reason why I said 2 because you need a sum of 360. So you need, the only way to get 360 from the 135 and the 90 is to have 2 135s and 190. Yeah, so
Do you agree with that?
for every 190, for every
Yes.
90, there should be 2 135 degrees.
If you look on screen again, you'll see I'm moving around those 2 shapes to see, just to check, to see if they fit. Will they tessellate? Okay. Now, what other pairs will tessellate? Can you see the colors by the way? Can you see that better? are the colors. How many semi-regular tessellations can we make? Crescentiano? Did you find the tessellation creator? Crescentiano?
Sorry, I didn't realize. I'm talking to you, but I didn't realize my mic was connected.
Okay. I was asking you if you found the tessellation creator.
Oh, I didn't go online to get it. Huh?
Okay, are you able to?
I could check.
If you are able to see the screen clearly enough, you'll see illuminations.nctm.org/activity.aspx. You'll find it. The art of doodling.
Alright, so you have to load it up and try it.
Shake your arm.
Yes, miss.
Yeah, cheers. If you're gonna ever do this in a school, one of the things you could do is you could use the tessellation creator because it is available free online. If you do not have access, cut the regular polygons and ensure that the length of their sides is the same. Alright? So for example, the length of the side of the square should be the same as the length of the side of the equilateral triangle or the octagon or whichever one, and then you can have students physically manipulate these on the plane and tell you whether they will tessellate. So Donald is suggesting another possibility, so let's record those. So we're saying that the square and the octagon will tessellate, and the vertex configuration would be, what would be the configuration of the vertex here?
One square to two octagons.
Right. Using numbers. Use the numbers to describe it, the number of sides. So that's a vertex. What are we seeing at the vertex? An 8-sided shape, another 8-sided shape, and a 4-sided shape, which would be 8, 8, 4. Okay, 10? Right, that's what I mean. Or if you started with the top one, you could say 848. Alright? Four eight 90 plus 135 plus 135. Which one did you say we were to try now?
Would be the triangle and the dodecagon.
Alright, so the dodecagon, that's 12 sides.
Yes, please.
With a triangle, put it on the side here.
So,
Why would you say those?
because the same vertex we're considering in terms of the vertices adding up to 120,
180?
180, sorry,
I mean 360.
360.
One full next time. Yes, sorry. Okay, so is that what you're talking about?
Well, yes, miss. Well, that one come from? And another one you could try. Another one you could try is the pentagon and decagon.
Alright, so the 10-sided figure, what's the size of each angle?
144.
44.
And the pentagon is 108. So if you have 108 and 108, that is 216. And then 144 brings up to 360.
Alright, so we'll try that. So we're going 2 so far. Anybody else found others?
Yes.
Alright, so let's talk about those that we found. The configuration. You could try doing probably a table. Let's see if we can organize a table that simplifies what we're reporting now. Let's take for argument's sake, we probably want to see what it looks like. So we do a small sketch in one column of the table. And then we could talk about the vertex configuration, which we are interested in. And then we look at why this vertex configuration actually works, relating to the sum of the angles. So what angles are we summing? So for example, if we have, you said 10, 8 and 10 what? Which two did you just say?
The triangle and
10, 5 and 5.
5, 10.
Right, 5, 5, 10.
And 3, 12, 12.
Hold on, so let's do one at a time. If we say 5, 5, 10, then what we will have is 108 plus 108 plus 144.
Yes, yes.
Alright, so under the third column, we would look at the sum of the interior angles at that vertex. Alright? So first column you do a sketch because you want to have a diagram of what it looks like. Then we talk about the vertex configuration, and then we look at interior angle measures and the sum. So for argument's sake, in the case of the decagon and the pentagon, we're looking at 5, 5, 10 or 10, 5, 5, whichever. 108 plus 108 plus 144. Are you seeing that? Alright, so how many do we have so far? Adrian, you have... How many do you have?
I had about 6, you know, miss.
Yeah? Wonderful. I don't think I've ever gone so many myself.
But I realize that they can go very, like some of them can have up to 4 different shades.
Okay, meaning, for example, give me an example.
I have one here, 3, 4, 6, 4.
3, 4, 6, 4, which is 3 different shapes.
I'm not sure if it will work. Try and construct one for me.
Alright, I'll do that. Okay, so let me clear the screen. You want a 3, 4, 3, 4.
Alright. Do this one. 4, 6, 12.
Let me just zoom the screen so you can see it better. Alright, so you want me to go 4,
6.
and can you see them? 12. Alright, let's see if it can continue.
Between the hexagon and the square. Oh, I'm talking about the hexagon and the square.
I can tell that it will work by now.
Yes, so you can tell that it will work. You say it's a beautiful pattern, right? Had I chosen the better colors?
Pairs of 3, right?
Hmm?
No, I was saying to myself that's pairs of 3.
Sets of
Sets of 3.
So this is 3 different regular polygons that you're combining. Where would this one go? No? Check how we getting generally. That's what you were thinking, Adrian?
Yes, didn't reach that far on the diagram, but
Yeah.
can see the pattern looks really great.
It does.
Okay, so keys are the same and resemblance.
So, you remember this morning we did some networks and we're checking to see if they were traversable? You were here, right? Adrian?
Yes, miss, I was here.
Right, okay. This kind of looks like a more fascinating one to try and figure out if it's traversable, right?
Yeah.
Or to use the orange paths as the paths and the, what's that, the 12-sided one or 10? 12? Alright, so the vertex configuration now, Adrian, let's look at that. It's 12, 4, 6. 12, 4, 6, or 12, 6, 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're pretty much the same everywhere. 4, 12, 6. Pretty much the same everywhere. Alright, so Adrian has stepped it up from 2 to 3. How many are there with 2? Let's look at these very quickly. So the different combinations that we can put together to make the semi. And Adrian, it seems you'll have to add yours, or is it there? It's there? Yeah. It's there. First one. Looks like a stoplight to me. Traffic light, that's what you call it? Now, if you are teaching geometry, let me just ask very quickly, do you think these kinds of activities would help children to figure out some of the things that we tell them for themselves? Is there any added benefit to doing, say, work on tessellations, as opposed to just telling them about the sum of angles in a polygon, or what are regular as opposed to irregular polygons? Does this add anything to our math class by doing this?
Yes.
Like,
Okay. Yes, Jomo?
when we're doing this activity, I love to think about those different patterns like this and shirts or curves.
Okay, so in our culture, we would probably see some of these designs on curtains or shirts, or some kind of fabric.
Like seeing this on that design.
Right, and so part of our culture will find some of these designs being used. I see what we're gonna say, Adrian. What kind of benefit? Yes. Go ahead.
No, miss, it's okay. No problem.
Okay, all right. I noticed the class has been kind of quiet since today. I think the networks didn't work for you. Am I accurate in saying that? The networks didn't work so well for you. You didn't like that idea. But traversability is something that we can explore in our classrooms with our students. We can have them look at a number of different things. When we talk about the doodling this morning and traversability, there are links to the handshake and, of course, only shaking one person's hand once, developing network communications where if you write, say, an algorithm for sending out emails or sending out bills from companies, I won't be billed twice, and a number of different things and different applications that you can look at with these different ideas and how you design a system to ensure that it works the way you tell it to work. Alright. Now, I spoke earlier of the works of Maurice Escher. We looked at some of them. I want you to go online just to look at his work. There are a number of interesting things that you will find. Maybe you will see them on calendars, different fabrics, designs on buildings, sorry, and so on. And you can see some of where his work was from. Before I move you to the next investigation, I'm going to ask you to just look at an illusion. And alright, watch carefully. What do you think is causing that to happen?
Based on the angle of the thing, it seems as if it was going up, but it actually turned the other way. It's sloping downwards. Perception.
So Kezia is saying if we expose them to the mathematics well, they will be able to design and create stunts and illusions for movies, right? Is there a place for our mathematicians in that world? So we spoke about gaming this morning. We talked about that. Oh, okay, there. No. And of course, wherever illusions are necessary. I don't think that they have. I don't know if you've seen some pictures where they call them impossible geometry. Yes, if you look at it. It's not as clear as I would like, but they pour at the bottom. What happens? It's falling from the top and coming right back down where it started. How did it go up? Are you seeing that, Adrian and Crescentiana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's pouring the water at the bottom of the figure. Whatever happens, the water goes up to the top and then down and goes up again. How does that work?
Make it just leave it still on the grow.
I've seen a cube. I've seen this shape, I've seen others. It's impossible to physically have a shape like that, isn't it? Possible for a shape to exist that looks like this. It's part of what we call impossible geometry. It's impossible to have it in the physical world. Alright, so I want you to watch this figure carefully. Ah, there are a few more videos that I had selected for you to look at. Finish up because I think we've seen there's a final problem that I have for you to just look at. And this is doodling in math. You have the spirals, the Fibonacci series, and so on. I want you to look at this final one. It's gonna move fast, just the same like Oh.
So you're in your math class and your teacher's talking about and you're feeling spirally today, so yeah. Oh, and because of overcrowding in your school, your math class is taking place in greenhouse number 3, plants. Anyway, we decided there's 3 basic types of spirals. There's the kind where as you spiral out, you keep the same distance, or you could start big but make it tighter and tighter as you go around, in which case the spiral ends. Or you could start tight but make the spiral bigger as you go out. The first kind is good if you really want to fill up a page with lines, or if you want to draw curled up snakes. You can start with a wonky shape to spiral around, but you've noticed that as you spiral out, it gets rounder and rounder. Probably something to do with how the ratio between 2 different numbers approaches one as you repeatedly add the same number to both, but you can bring the wonk back by exaggerating the bumps, and it gets all optical illusion-y. Anyway, you're not sure what the second kind of spiral is good for, but I guess it's a good way to draw snuggled up slug cats, which are a species you've invented just to keep this kind of spiral from feeling useless. This third spiral, however, is good for all sorts of things. You could draw a snail or a nautilus shell, an elephant with a curled up trunk, the horns of a sheep, a fern frond, a cochlea, and an inner ear diagram, an ear itself. Those other spirals can't help but be jealous of this clearly superior kind of spiral. Better draw more slug cats. Here's one way to draw a really perfect spiral. Start with one square and draw another next to it that is the same height. Make the next square fit next to both together, that is, each side is length 2. The next square has length 3. The entire outside shape will always be a rectangle. Keep spiraling around, adding bigger and bigger squares. This one has side length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and now 21. Once you do that, you can add a curve going through each square, arcing from one corner to the opposite corner. Resist the urge to zip quickly across the diagonal if you want a nice smooth spiral. Have you ever looked at the spirally pattern on a pine cone and thought, hey, sure are spirals on this pine cone? I don't know why there's pine cones in your greenhouse. Maybe the greenhouse is in a forest. Anyway, there's spirals, and there's not just one either. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 going this way, or you could look at the spirals going the other way, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Look familiar? 8 and 13 are both numbers in the Fibonacci series. That's the one where you start by adding 1 and 1 to get 2, then 1 and 2 to get 3, 2 and 3 to get 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, 5 plus 8 is 13, and so on. Some people think that instead of starting with 1 plus 1, you should start with 0 and 1. 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, and it continues on the same way as starting with 1 and 1. Or I guess you could start with 1 plus 0, and that would work too. Or why not go back one more to -1, and so on. Anyway, if you're into the Fibonacci series, you probably have a bunch memorized. I mean, you've got to know 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Finish off the single digits with 8, and ooh, 13, how spooky. And once you're memorizing double digits, you might as well know 21, 34, 55, 89, so that whenever someone turns a Fibonacci number, you can say, happy Fib birthday. And then, isn't it interesting that 144, 233, 377, but 610 breaks that pattern, so you better know that one too. And oh my goodness, 987 is a neat number, and well, you see how these things get out of hand. Anyway, 'tis the season for decorative scented pine cones, and if you're putting glitter glue spirals on your pine cones during math class, you might notice that the number of spirals are 5 and 8, or 3 and 5, or 3 and 5 again, 5 and 8. This one was 8 and 13, and one Fibonacci pine cone is one thing, but all of them? What is up with that? This pine cone has this wumpy weird part. Maybe that messes it up. Let's count the top. 5 and 8. Now let's check out the bottom. 8 and 13. If you wanted to draw a mathematically realistic pine cone, you might start by drawing 5 spirals one way and 8 going the other. I'm going to mark out starting and ending points for my spirals first as a guide, and then draw the arms, 8 one way and 5 the other. Now I can fill in the little pine coney things. So there's Fibonacci numbers in pine cones, but are there Fibonacci numbers in other things that start with pine? Let's count the spirals on this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The leaves are hard to keep track of, but they're in spirals too, of Fibonacci numbers. What if we looked at these really tight spirals going almost straight up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. A Fibonacci number. Can we find a third spiral on this pine cone? Sure, go down like this, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. But that's only a couple examples. How about this thing I found on the side of the road? I don't know what it is. It probably starts with pine though. 5 and 8. Let's see how far the conspiracy goes. What else has spirals in it? This artichoke is 5 and 8. So does this artichoke-looking flower thing. And this cactus fruit does too. Here's an orange cauliflower with 5 and 8, and a green one with 5 and 8. I mean, 5 and 8. Oh, it's actually 5 and 8. Maybe plants just like these numbers though. Doesn't mean it has anything to do with Fibonacci, does it? So let's go for some higher numbers. We're going to need some flowers. I think this is a flower. It's got 13 and 21. These daisies are hard to count. They have 21 and 34. Then let's bring in the big guns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 22, 23, 24, 42, 53, 54, 55. I promise this is a random flower and I didn't pick it out especially to trick you into thinking there's Fibonacci numbers and things, but you should really count for yourself next time you see something spirally. There's even Fibonacci numbers in how the leaves are arranged on this stalk, or this one, or the Brussels sprouts on this stalk are a beautiful, delicious 3 and 5. Fibonacci is even in the arrangement of petals on this rose, and some flowers have shown Fibonacci numbers as high as 144. It seems pretty cosmic and wondrous, but the cool thing about the Fibonacci series and spiral is not that it's this big, complicated, mystical, magical supermath thing beyond the comprehension of our puny human minds that shows up mysteriously everywhere. We'll find that these numbers aren't weird at all. In fact, it would be weird if they weren't there. The cool thing about it is that these incredibly intricate patterns can result from utterly simple beginnings.
Right? You can see part 2 online.
That's YouTube? That's YouTube?
I see why you were asking initially.
In nature?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a
I'd asked about some of these things seen in nature and so on, but as we do mathematics, we try to identify it in different areas, whether in our culture or in the environment, in nature, and so on. So you can see part 2 and 3, and I'm gonna leave you with this final video from Thy Heart, and you can also see part 2 of this one.
So say you just moved from England to the US and you got your old school supplies from England and your new school supplies from the US, and it's your first day of school and you get to class and find that your new American paper doesn't fit in your old English binder. The paper is too wide and hangs out. So you cut off the extra and end up with all these strips of paper, and to keep yourself amused during your math class, you start playing with them. And by you, I mean Arthur H. Stone in 1939. Anyway, there's lots of cool things you can do with a strip of paper. You can fold it into shapes, and more shapes. Maybe spiral it around snugly like this. Maybe make it into a square. Maybe wrap it into a hexagon with a nice symmetric sort of cycle to the flappy parts. In fact, there's enough space here to keep wrapping the strip, and then your hexagon is pretty stable. And you're like, I don't know, hexagons aren't too exciting, but I guess it has symmetry or something. Maybe you could kind of fold it so the flappy parts are down and the unflappy parts are up. That's symmetric, and it collapses down into these 3 triangles, which collapse down into 1 triangle. And collapsible hexagons are, you suppose, cool enough to at least amuse you a little bit during your class. And then, since hexagons have 6-way symmetry, you decide to try this 3-way fold the other way, with flappy parts up, and are collapsing it down when suddenly the inside of your hexagon decides to open right up. What? You close it back up and undo it. Everything seems the same as before. The center is not open-uppable. But when you fold it that way again, it flips inside out. Weird. This time, instead of going backwards, you try doing it again, and again, and again, and you want to make one that's a little less messy, so you try again with another strip and tape it nicely into a twisty foldy loop. You decide it would be cool to color the sides, so you get out a highlighter and make one yellow. Now you can flip from yellow side to white side. Yellow side, white side, yellow side, white side. White side? What? Where did the yellow side go? So you go back, and this time you color a white side green, and find that your piece of paper has 3 sides, yellow, white, and green. Now this thing is definitely cool, therefore you need to name it, and since it's shaped like a hexagon, and you flex it, and flex rhymes with hexaflexagon it is. That night you can't sleep because you keep thinking about hexaflexagons, and the next day, as soon as you get to your math class, you pull out your paper strips. You'd made this sort of spirally folded paper that folds into, again, the shape of a piece of paper, and you decide to take that and use it like a strip of paper to make a hexaflexagon, which should totally work, but it feels sturdier with the extra paper. And you color the 3 sides and are like, orange, yellow, pink, and you're sort of trying to pay attention to class, math, yeah, orange, yellow, pink, orange, yellow, white? Wait a second. Okay, so you color that one green, and now it's orange, yellow, green, who knows where the pink side went? Oh, there it is. Now it's back to orange, yellow, pink, blue. Yellow, pink, blue, yellow, pink, blue, yellow, pink, blue, yellow, pink, With the old flexagon, you could only flex it one way, flappy way up. But now there's more flaps, so maybe you can fold it both ways. Yes, one goes from pink to blue, but the other from pink to orange. And now one way goes from orange to yellow, but the other way goes from orange to neon yellow. During lunch, you want to show it off to one of your new friends, Bryant Tuckerman. You start with the original simple 3-faced hexaflexagon, which you call the trihexaflexagon. And he's like, whoa, and wants to learn how to make one. And you're like, it's easy, just start with a paper strip. Fold it into equilateral triangles, and you'll need 9 of them, and you fold them around into this cycle and make sure it's all symmetric. Like the flat parts are diamonds, and if they're not, then you're doing it wrong. And then you just tape the first triangle to the last along the edge, and you're good. But Tuckerman doesn't have tape after all. It was invented only 10 years ago. So he cuts out 10 triangles instead of 9, and then glues the first to the last. Then you show him how to flex it by pinching around a flappy part and pushing it on the opposite side to make it flat and triangly, and then opening from the center. You decide to start a flexagon committee together to explore the mysteries of flexigation. But that will have to wait until next time. So say you just moved from England to the US and you've got your old school supplies from
So you can go online. There's a lot of work that Byheart has done. I want you to look at those two persons. And Moritz Escher, Tessellations, Byheart. V-I-H-A-R-T.
That was weird.
Yeah. So the girl there is
Byheart.
Byheart.
Oh, that's like a permit.
She is a Steve, but apparently she was a It's not so big. Any reactions to any of those? Donald, since you were not here this morning, any reactions to?
But I was just amazed at the whole Fibonacci thing with the spirals, because at first it would probably seem random, but then it's not so random.
At all, the arrangement of the flowers?
Spirals, whether in the flowers or whatever the case
wherever
was,
they are.
wherever they were naturally formed,
Okay.
they could identify Fibonacci in the time. She didn't just stick to like the lower end of the numbers, like 1 or 5, 3, 5. She went up all the way to 55, just to
Okay.
show that it holds true. So,
Any other reactions?
Yeah. Like, with Fibonacci, all of those was like occurred on nature. So never know.
Okay. Right, so people have always said to us, yes,
Yes,
Fibonacci
occur-
exists and
yeah,
occur in nature, but we have not seen examples. Right,
But it never actually
point
showed
it out, okay.
as if, oh, that's
Adrian?
Yes. It's very interesting how all of these shapes in nature relate to mathematics.
Or is it the other way around? Which came
Well.
first, the mathematics? Is the mathematicians have a way of thinking they were first?
but you know,
yeah, we just observe nature and then
yeah, because you remember when who was it? Is Kepler or Tesla? Who studied, was Kepler who studied the whole space thing?
that's how they do the electromagnet.
Yeah.
Carriage.
Tesla. Well, Kepler was, yeah, it was Kepler. And it was basically saying that everything in nature has some mathematical logic. Because he was observing like the planets. It was Kepler and somebody else.
Must Einstein.
I don't remember, no man, it's not Einstein. It's Kepler and Tesla, but I can't remember if it's actually Tesla. And it was actually saying that everything in nature has some mathematical law for it. It's just for us to figure it out, and that's basically what physics was about.
So mathematicians have a way of studying nature and looking for and finding relationships. Is that what we're saying?
Basically.
Crescentiana?
Yeah, I agree with Adrian.
Any reaction? Okay. Any reaction to any of the videos?
Oh, I said I agreed with Adrian.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. The final question I have for you, or the final problem, we have some rectangles, and we want to find out in this square that we have. It's a 6 by 6 square. It's an arrangement where I've shaded some of the squares inside, the unit squares, and they form a rectangle. Now, how many different or non-congruent rectangles can be formed that way?
Not the same.
Not the same shape, right? The same shape.
Oh, so that means they rotate it or
Right.
turn it.
Consider it again. Alright, so that's your final problem for today. Try to figure out a way that you can do it systematically rather than just trying to explore every single possible such arrangement. No.
And students who should have been here. Well, she was asking if we could get Chris and Michelle email address to her, but I told her I could just get it from you.
Alright.
Or
Right, you could just take it from here. Just text it over like that. Just text it just to see everything.
oh no, it's
Oh. That's our final problem. Alright, on Wednesday I expect to hear what you have found about traversable networks, which ones will work and which ones will not. I know many of you want to put it to rest today. Doesn't seem to excite you that much. So I'll offer a percentage on it.
Say that again, miss.
Why would you like me to repeat? I'm offering a percentage. Are you recording me?
And once you say percentage, I'm interested.
Okay, good. Good. I should have said that first this morning. So I'm offering a percentage for finding out what kinds of networks are traversable. How do you know when it's not? And in fact, is there any relationship between odd and even nodes and traversability? Does it have to have a starting point for it to be traversable? So on and so forth.
What is this?
Lay.
Here?
Lay.
Oh, yes, miss. No, we finished loading now, so.
What's the
Basically giving assignment sessions to the teachers and time for access. If this working on board, I just need some time to get business.
What, a chapati job?
No, it's not part of my job right
That's
there.
skill that you have.
Functional service.
They don't have a software yet.
Yes.
You are the software? Design or software? Design.
Oh, yeah, that would be.
Can discuss it. Okay, so some solutions are being proposed. Do you need some more time to work on it? Would anyone like to start the discussion on the number of?
Alright. All I did was, first I know that a 1 by 1 would be a square. So start on a rectangle. I said 2 by 1, 3 by 1, 4 by 1, 5 by 1, 6 by 1.
Okay, so you're taking the approach of excluding the squares and using just the other types of rectangles.
And then,
Okay.
so that was the first line. 2 by 1, 3 by 1, 4 by 1, 5 by 1, 6 by 1. Now you can't have a 2 by 2, so another 3 by 1, not 3 by 2. And then a 4 by 2, 5 by 2, 6 by 2.
Okay.
And since they're not going to have a 3 by 3, the next one will be 4 by 3, 5 by 3, 6 by 3. Excluding the 4 by 4, you have a 5 by 4, 6 by 5. You can't have a 5 by 5, 6 by 6. And so I had 45, 4, 3.
Okay. And so you're picking up a pattern.
Yeah, well, maybe that's pattern that's it's a double 2 by, and a 3 by 1, 3 by 2, then a more 4 by 1, 4 by 2, 4 by 3.
Right.
And a 5 by 1, 5 by 1, 5 2, 5 by 3, 5 by 4.
That's 4 of them under the 5
And
by
that's 6 on the 2, 4.
4 of them.
So basically, I guess you could use the same formula that we used last week for the terminus things, but since you're excluding the square, you will minus n. So because it would be 1 by 1 all the way to 1 6 by 6. So it would be n plus 1 times n plus 2 minus 2n all over 2. And I would just want to solve this. Yeah.
You see this just fine, no? If you were to take your square paper and outline I'd say a 5 by 5 square. How many, and this is now looking at problems to find variations that you could use, and you try it for different things. So for argument's sake, you could ask students to shade in all the polygons that are possible, and so they would be using 5 by 5 squares all over the paper. To shade in as many polygons rather that would have an area of say 18 square units, just for argument's sake. So within that 5 by 5 you do have 25, sorry. And there are different ways to shade polygons, but they must be sure it's a polygon. Or you could use variations of that. I have a question that I'll send to you by email. How many integer sides, and I'm leaving you with this question today. How many triangles of longest, how many integer triangles of longest side 6 are possible? How many integer triangles of longest side 6 are possible? How many integer triangles of longest side 6 are possible? Okay, what do we mean by integer triangles? Anybody wants to give that a shot?
Yes, let's say about 10.3, like 5.3.
Okay, so all the lengths must be integers, meaning whole, well, let me not say whole, well, in this case, whole numbers. Not positive, yeah.
If you have two equal, like, when it's a long.
Alright, so let's see if we can understand the problem a little more. Do we mean that the longest side 6 is an English longest side, or we're just saying that no side can be longer than 6?
Yeah. No side should be longer than 6. Like, so you have 6, 6, 6. Or 6, 6, 5.
No side can be longer than 6.
Alright, so we'll take the mathematical approach to say no side can be longer than 6. Go ahead again.
Oh, no, I was just asking if the solution to the problem from last week would be used with this question.
Which one is that?
The one with the 13, if you go the other way.
I think it's different. I think they're different. We're looking at the area last time.
I know,
But, okay, so let's find a connection. Alright, find it and tell us. I'm all ears. I'm always open to new suggestions.
Here, notice that basically there must be some connection between the
I suppose.
hoping.
Alright. Donald will find that connection for us. I'll give him until next class. So, you have a percentage to work towards with the traversable networks. I see not many people like it. We're looking at whether we can traverse, meaning, it's right.
Well, that's the thing from last week.
Right, but I had added some more, and we had looked at doodles this morning and just doodling away. And we looked at the language of doodles, let me show you on the board. If we were to doodle that point where they cross or meet, the lines meet, we call that a node, or we call it a vertex. Right, so in this one you would have 2 vertices. And the shaded region is called a region. I have different regions. So for example, there's one that's shaded. There's another one here. It's a loop. This is a loop. This is a loop that's similar to that. This one is different. And so we have those 3 regions inside. But for doodles, we also count the region outside as one.
Okay.
Right. So the region that is exactly outside the border is one. We also look at them in a way, in a similar way that like we look at polygons, or doodles we look at, for example, this loop, it has only one edge, and the edge is the connection from a node back to a node. For example, there is this edge that it starts from this node, and it comes to this node.
So all loops have
Right?
one.
Okay?
Sorry, I was saying to myself that means all loops have 1 edge.
That's a loop, yes. But then there are other types of guns where you have probably 2 edges. Let me see if I can at best doodle away. That works well. But just to show you, for example, if we take these 2 nodes Alright, you will have one edge and another edge here. So that's a 2. Alright? And so it depends on how many edges you determine. Now, there is one in the text that I was looking at. Alright, so the edge, the regions, and the node, it's a marker. Awesome. Yes, it's a marker. Will I be able to draw a lovely that's better, right? Alright. So let's see if I find a foreground. Now this region here, right? Successful. Right? Adrian, you still with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you see the board?
Yes.
So there are 4 points, and so I've successfully drawn a doodle gun, I will call it. Why not? With four edges. In the way we would have polygons having 4 sides. Alright, can you find more of those? And so on. Now, is there a relationship between the number of nodes and the number of regions formed? It is actually an investigation that you can carry out. Okay? So if you see it on your in-course test, don't be surprised. And you do not have an in-course. Since more persons are here, may I ask, would it be okay if I ask Miss Moore to accommodate us on Friday, the 8th of August, to do our final class, so we would not have to come back here on the 11th, which is the Monday? Could we try for that?
Yes, miss, sure.
All right. Anybody having any issues, please let me know. All right. So I'm gonna ask Miss Moore if she can accommodate us. I need to ask the Bermudans as well, if they're okay. And ensure nobody else has plans for that Friday. All right. Do have a lovely day.
Thank you, miss.
Thank you. Remember my percentage for the traversable networks?
Oh, it's a traversable network. It's on the.
No, for this will definitely be traversable, where I start at a point and I go back and I end at the same point.
Without.
They were to determine when a network is traversable.
Mathematical relationship.
Oh, I took the thing out. I'll send it in the Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? Adrian, any questions from you?
Comments?
Okay. How do we end the conference? Take care and have a good day. Is it possible to end the call? Yes.
Vicentiana?
Hi, Adrian.
Hi. I'm gonna try and draft up a table for the group work and email it to you so that you can take a look, okay?
Yeah, no problem. I'll be doing some as well, so we'll go back and forth. I can email it to you.
Okay, no problem.
Alright, bye.
Yeah. Have a good one.
What's that?
No, I was saying bye because I'm about to run out of here.
Oh, okay, alright then.
you.